guys. How is everybody today?
Good. How are you?
Good. Trying to figure out my view here. I'm just gonna leave it. My kids are still awake and they're loud and they I'm just like
Part of it. It's great.
bed. They're so loud.
No, I love it.
I like your earrings.
Thanks. They're bright.
How is school going?
It's going good. Good. I mean, we have to wear masks, but it hasn't been too bad.
I was wondering about that. Did the kids wear masks or no?
Yeah.
The kids wear masks too?
Yeah.
Wow. I guess when they're older, they can keep them on. My kids don't keep them on.
No. Yeah.
Their nose is always out.
Yeah. And half of ours are hanging every which way, but
it's, I've tried with Zachary so many times, but it does not happen.
No. But fortunately, they say don't be the mask police, just kind of encourage them.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good, but they're not really terrible about it. I saw that somebody got kicked off an airplane because her 2-year-old wouldn't keep his mask on. And so it was a single, like a mom with just her kids.
Yeah.
Like young kids, and they kicked him all off because the 2-year-old wouldn't keep his mask on. I thought that was just the worst thing ever.
I'm so ready for this to be over and done.
I know, me too.
Okay. Any day they're going to say, you don't have to wear a mask anymore, right?
I know. I can't wait for that day. But then, I mean, there's some things about, like I was just talking to my husband tonight, there are some things about the quarantine that have been really nice.
Oh, yes, for sure.
Family home all the time and together, and as much as e-learning and homeschooling is kicking my rear end, I'm thankful too that I can be the one who's like teaching them and I have this time with them, and I know I'm going to look back at it and be like sad that it's over and that I don't have it anymore, but also just thankful that I had that, all that together time. It's harder for Zachary. The transition has been hard because he actually goes in person 2 days a week, and it's been difficult because he went so long without leaving us at all. Because February on, he has not left us, and so when he had to go in person that first day, it was terrible. It was his mommy and his brother and sister, and it was bad, but transitioning just like everybody else. So kick off our call. Stop talking. We have some East Coasters who are ready to go to bed. Melissa Grable. And I'm so glad you all are here on our team call tonight. We are so honored to have an amazing coach on our team, Davidson. You all probably know her. To know her is to love her. She is a 2-star diamond, our newest 2-star diamond, which means she opened her second business center and already went like emerald, and I don't even know how many coaches she has in that. But very, very quickly, she is the top recruiter on our team for the past, I think it's like 10 months or something. Crazy, amazing at recruiting, does really, really well with that. And she is very busy. Teacher, coach, she's married to a coach, which is the whole thing in and of itself. You probably knew that, but it's incredibly time consuming to be married to a football coach, especially in Texas. It's very much life. It's and a lot of being home by yourself and a lot of traveling to games, and it's a lot. So there's that, and then she's also a mom of 4 and a grandmother, and she's having to take care of grandkids quite a bit because you guys know the story. Most of you know the story with her daughter, Christy, who's battling cancer. And anyway, she's amazing. She's a prayer warrior, and she is a light to all of us, I think, certainly to me, but I think really to anybody who knows her. And she always has the most thoughtful posts, like beautiful pictures, but like her posts are always just really encouraging and positive and insightful. And I just look forward to them every day. They light up my newsfeed every day. So anyway, I'm going to stop talking, but I'm going to turn it over to Susan, and she's going to tell us how she recruits so many people every month, and also how she makes it fit into her life, because she has a lot going on. So without further ado, Susan, take the floor, take the screen.
Thanks, before you make me start crying. Well, man, I was just like so honored when Corey asked me, and y'all, this team just means so much to me. I'll get into that a little bit more, but it truly, really means a lot to me. And so for those of you that don't know, I'm going to run through my story really quickly. So Jody Dacus's husband and my husband coached together in Graham. And Jody and I, she lived a block away from me, and we became really good friends. We got up early in the morning and started running. And that was kind of the beginning for Jody, for kind of health and fitness stuff. She had really never done much. And I'd kind of always been into it. I ran track in college. I just always was into health and fitness. And I watched her during those 3 years just really transform. At a time in my life when I actually was really struggling for the first time. I was coming home from school, taking a nap. I was so tired. I was like, you know how you beat yourself up in the head? I was beating myself up every day, like, come on, you can do it. Go do it. And it was just like a miserable time. And y'all, I laugh because I remember telling Kenny, why in the world do people pay for those workouts? I can get them free online. I remember telling him that, and I could not get it. But I kept watching her, and I remember one time she was working at a basketball tournament, and she videoed herself working out in the concession stand. And I remember thinking, holy cow, this girl is serious, and I can't even get myself out the door. So that was one turning knob for me. And the other one, she just kept winning trips and going places. And I love to travel. And it's not that you can't travel that great on a coach's salary. You know, I love my life, but you know, you just can't do that. And so all of that together, I just saw that she was growing. She had a transformation in that she was growing muscles. But what I really saw, y'all, was she had the sparkle in her eye. It just makes me kind of tear up. And she had a sparkle in her eye and this new passion for just loving others, a new passion for working out. She was growing in confidence, and I was like, that right there, that's what I want. And so I remember when I finally said, Jody, I want to join you. But I'm such a tightwad, I guess. I don't know. I could get free membership at our gym. And so I was like, okay, Jody, you got to figure out how I'm going to pay for this $160. I just really don't want to do that. So she said, well, you can invite a few friends and family to join you. So I was like, okay. So I invited 10. Y'all, 8 of them said yes to me. I think it was 8. I think I have that number right. But it was like sisters and nieces. And they're like, sure, we'll come and do it with you. And y'all, so many of them still, they're quiet. They don't speak out on, you know, Facebook or anything, but they love it. And they tell me all the time they appreciate it. And so, you know, that was good. And so that was in July. And then that fall, I was a junior high coach. Teaching history. Kenny's a coach, like Corey said, and y'all, you talk about a busy schedule. I had to be at school at 6. Many nights I didn't get home till, in Graham, you have to drive an hour to any game. And so lots of times it was 9 or 10 when I got home. But Jody had told me about this diamond retreat that Corey puts on at this 5-star resort that gets paid for. And I was like, I'm going there. So y'all, I worked my lunch. I worked on the bus all the way there. I worked every minute. My house was pretty much a disaster. Fortunately, Kenny encouraged me. That's fine. We'll figure that out later. You know, but I worked every minute, and I was determined to get to that. And so like December 31st, I think like at like 10 o'clock at night.
Yes, it's like you slid in right in time.
Yeah, I made it in. I was so excited. And that retreat, it really, really was. Oh, it just was amazing. I loved every minute of it. And I still cherish that very much because I had to miss last year's. I'll tell you that in a minute. So then I start writing, I'll tell you in a minute how I write my goals, but I started writing 2-star diamond. I got to make 2-star diamond. And I remember thinking how far off that seemed. And so then the next December, we find out that my daughter has cancer. And so y'all, I remember one of the first groups I wanted to reach out to was y'all. I thought I've got to reach out to my team and have them praying for me. And so this was a really busy time because my daughter really needed me a lot. She is now 4, but she has 3 little children. She was pregnant and she needed a lot of help. And thank goodness for COVID actually saved us through this. But I was determined not to let my business go under. I thought I can do it. I can figure out in the little crooks and nannies of the day how to be intentional with my grandkids, but yet have that time to work on my business. And so during that time and during demanded quiet reading time and 4:30 in the morning, I would get up and I would work. And so I have worked hard at this. And I remember I worked out with him, and I wanted to show young moms, quit making the excuse, I've got kids at home, work out with them, you know, and even just the other day, Everett said, Susan, do you work out every single day? You know, it impacted him, and I love that. I made videos with them, and so I included them. And then I remember thinking how far two-star diamond though still seemed off. But you know, you just figure out during the crazy seasons of your life, if you're determined enough, you can make it happen. You know, if you tell yourself I'm too busy, I can't do this, there's someone else that's busier, that has a crazier life, that's doing it. So, you know, figure it out. And so I did write down a few points that I think have really helped me, that I have learned from so many of you along the way. And sorry, I'm going like, where? Number one is give it to God. You know your why. You know, I listened to some podcasts that told me to create a motto. And so I thought about that for a long time, and I created it, and it really does help me. So my motto is, I am growing a team of women who create hope in other women to be healthy inside and out through Jesus. I say that every day. I say it before a Zoom call. I say it before I do anything. And then I challenge you also to claim a scripture. Get a scripture that you can claim as yours. If you're not a Christian, grab a motto and hang on to that. You know, for me, it's Isaiah 61. And listen to this. It fits so perfectly into what we do. You know, it says, I'll give them a crown of beauty for their ashes, an oil of gladness for their sorrow, and a garment of praise for despair. How many women do you know that they're down, they're depressed, they're feeling bad about themselves, and they're living in these ashes, and we have something for them? You know, and so claim that and cling to it. And then the next one is to dream. Take some time to dream. You know, I'm 58. I'm sure I'm the oldest one on here. You know, and I'm not too old to dream. And the world tells us sometimes that we are. Oh, Christy, sorry, you're older than me. And she's dreaming. And so I have some big dreams that actually I'd be kind of embarrassed to even tell you what they are, but I write them every day as if they already happened. I remember a lot of y'all probably know Lauren Mass, and she did a talk on this one time that really stuck with me. And she's even started with her family, and she wrote, I am an exceptional wife. I am crazy about my husband, because it's got to start there. If you let your life fall apart, you know, you're going to have trouble building a business. And Corey, I remember one time that you told me to write, I attract hardworking women who want to impact others and make a difference. So I write that every day. And it took a long, long time before that started happening, but I just kept writing as if it happened, writing it and writing it. And so I'm a huge believer in writing the I am statements. I know I can just feel it in my spirit. I can come home from school, you know, tired and you know, kind of beaten up maybe from the day, a rough day, and I start writing my I am statements, and I'm like, okay, I'm ready. Who do I need to help? And for me, just I was a very shy person growing up. I got teased in high school because I'd go out on a date and I wouldn't even say 2 words. And so I had to really overcome that mean girl in you battling, you know, that battle. I may come across as I got it together because I'm smiling real big, but inside I'm like, oh goodness, who would want to listen to you? You know, words like that. Oh, who do you think you are? You're too old. You haven't even made it yet. Why in the world would Corey ask you to speak on here? You're not a recruiter. You know, things like that go on in my head. And so you've got to battle them. And I believe we battled them with scripture. I believe that we battled them by writing our I am statements, looking in the mirror in your eye at yourself and speaking words of affirmation to yourself. I think that's huge. And so number 3 is treat it like a business. You know, you are your own CEO, which is great, but it's also could be bad, right? You set your own hours, you set your own times. So be a good CEO. Don't let a day slip by. If you are a teacher, you don't just decide to stay home one day and not work. Same thing with our business. Don't skip it. And then I heard Mary Kay one time said that she never gets into her car without professional development going. And so I've created that as a motto of my own. I get into the car, I have a podcast ready to go or a book, and always learning, 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 learning. And then, be that also treating it like a business means be accountable to your posts, video yourself working out. You talk about keeping yourself accountable, at least for me anyway, on working out. I'm like, I got to get that video in. So give it to God, dream, treat it like a business, and then be a professional friend maker. I don't know who said that lately. It might have been Corey, but that stuck with me. Go and just make friends with people. Fall in love with that process and with our success plan. It really, really does work, and do that over and over again. Y'all, I have the coolest story about two women that are on my team. One of them is Christy. And so I saw Christy's story. This Christy, not my Christy K. And she had, someone I think had posted something about her battling cancer, and something about her, I just thought, she seems like the neatest lady. And so I just kind of reached out and I started praying for her for battling cancer. And little by little, we became friends. I invited her I have a morning message group, kind of like Corey does, not quite to that extent, but we do a devotional and motivation every day. And I invited her on that, and we just became friends. And then I have another girl, Danae's on here too. Danae's story touched me because she has a 13-year-old, y'all, who's battling cancer right now, and he's in chemo right now. Sorry. And so I just thought, oh my goodness, this mother, and I just wanted to pray for her, and I started praying for her, and little by little we just kind of interacted, and then here we are a few months later down the line, and my daughter gets cancer. I didn't know that at the time, and so they are very dear to me, and I know what that battle is like. And so just make friends. Sorry, I'm getting emotional. All right, calm down. And I'm probably talking 100 miles an hour. I had too much energize. Okay, deep breath. Okay, but anyway, and so now then they've reached out to me and said, I would like to learn this business. I would like to help other women. And it just means the world to me. So be a professional friend maker. The difference in that, we were talking about this with my team this week, is, are you going to believe in confidence or fear? If you're going with fear, you're making up some story that that you're bugging someone, they're going to feel like you're salesy, they're going to think whatever it is story that you're telling yourself, right? But if you go with confidence, you are knowing that you have something to help them. You are believing that if they say yes, that it's going to just like change their world. Going with confidence, even when I invite them, that they feel good because I'm not leaving them out. I'm inviting them into this precious, special thing that we have, and you're not leaving them out. Someone said on the stories, people that show up on your stories, look at that, like they're coming into your shop, they are looking around, do I want this, do I want that? And you would never let someone come into your store without saying, hey, how are you doing? Can I help you? Can I pray for you? Do you want to be in our challenge group? I love it. Would you like to do it? It's all in our mindset and how we look at it. So go with confidence that we have something special and not fear. And then write your goals every day. I meant to pull up the statistics on this, but if you've ever read those, it's like mind blowing. If you, very few people even set goals, and then the ones that don't even look back at them. So be that different person. Set your goals and write them every day. And the 10X book really spoke to me because he said, write huge goals that when you write them, you get a little bit giddy about them if it happens. If you write some small goal like, okay, I want to help one person this month. I mean, that's great, but you don't get real excited about that, right? What about that girl on the National Wake Up Call this week that wrote I want to make 50 success points every month. Did y'all hear that? And I was like, oh my goodness, that is the 10X rule. You know, you get excited about that. It took her a long, long time to reach that, it sounded like. And that's what this is, you know, all about. And he said, quit being so attached to the outcome. So you write this big goal that you want to do. And so many times, you know, after a few months, we see our fitness people do this all the time, right? They write this goal and then it didn't happen in a 21 days. So they're like, I'm out of here. This doesn't work. Right? You know, and so for ourselves and to get them to change that mindset, don't be so attached to the goal. Be attached to the work that it takes to do it. And I know for me, I've just fallen in love with the process. I look forward to coming home and sitting down and or during my lunchtime and sending out those happy birthdays, meeting new people, and then inviting them and encouraging people, just, you know, loving on people. And then number 6 is a vision board. Have you made a vision board? I really believe in that. I mean, this is kind of embarrassing to say, but I already know what I'm going to wear when I speak on stage. There, I said it. I mean, I already have it envisioned in my mind. I have envisioned the stage. I have envisioned the people that are sitting down that my Rise and Shine team have encouraged and helped them change their life. I have envisioned so much about that. And so get your vision board. You know, after I went to Corey's Diamond Retreat, I started thinking, I want to do that. I want to be able to do that for people. I already know where I want it to be when I have my 20 diamonds. I don't even have one diamond yet. I have one that's pretty close, but you know, and so it's so far off that I get excited when I think about it. And then just love on people. You know, that's what I think this team does so well. When I look and I see how we go through and we encourage each other on our posts, and you send out one message to, hey, go and encourage this person on their post, or hey, mine's dead, will you help me? It's like, whoa. I mean, people are coming in and encouraging. I don't see that on other businesses. And honestly, when I was looking at Jody and trying to decide what I was going to do, I noticed that, and I could tell it was girls on the team, but I thought, that is so cool. That is so cool that her team takes the time to encourage her every night on her post. And I thought, that's really cool. So, you know, our team, and I mean, y'all would say the same thing. I mean, Corey, you are an amazing leader. You just pour into us. I just look at you and think, how do you do that? You know, and so I thank you for that. And then number 8 is just keep believing, keep believing. I remember just 4 or 5 months ago when I was writing, I want to be 2-star. I mean, there were days when I was like, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, can I do this? You know, and so you got to fight that. And I remember when I made it, Corey said that she remembered, you know, thinking, I think he said 50 people on my team. And then lo and behold, she looks and she probably doesn't even know how many now, you know, just to watch her.
It was a big day. Like my husband and I celebrated. When it got to 50, we were like, had a celebration. We were like, there are 50 people.
Right.
On our downline. It was a huge deal.
Yeah, yeah.
And you look back one day and you're like, how did that happen?
How did that happen?
I know.
Yeah. And it happened because you kept doing the work. You kept doing the work, treating it like a business, loving on people. And then, of course, personal development. You know, personal development has been a huge switch for me. I had my quiet time down pretty good, but personal development is a whole new level, and I have just loved it, and I'm just like eating it up. And you know, The Slight Edge was a huge book for me. A book I really wanted to recommend that really helped me on words that I say to people, especially like inviting them, is a book by Phil Jones called Exactly What to Say. I know, Melissa, I think you got that book, didn't you? Did it help you? Oh, Anyway, it's just called Exactly What to Say, and it just gives you the words so that you don't feel like you're saying the same thing over and over, and it tells you, kind of, anyway, it's a great book. And then Everything is Figure Outable. I love that book. I have it on Audible. I listen to it a lot. And I love that phrase. Y'all, don't you love that phrase? I say that phrase all the time. When something goes wrong, I'm like, I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. And just keep saying it over and over. And then your virtual upline, that is so huge. And so anyway, I just lost my thought. I think that was it. Let's tell you this. So a lot of people have asked me this. When I sign someone up and, they're kind of debating, do I do that preferred customer coach thing or do I go the regular? I tell them this, and this is maybe because, like I told you, I didn't even want to spend $160. But I am all about a sale. I am all about if I can save money, then I want to do that. And so to me, if someone signs up and they're going to at least commit to 3 months, with most people will at least say, okay, I commit to 3 months at least, but they can cancel it at any time, of course. They're going to save $90 by going that route. And I tell them it's so much easier to cancel. Let's say you get into this and you don't like it. You can cancel it that day. But if you decide, oh, I do like that Shakeology and I think I do want that discount for $30, that's a lot harder road to go. You got to go in and you got to pay that $39.95. Yes, you get it back. But it's just like it's so much harder. So I tell people when they're signing up, just trust me, it's easier to cancel than it is to go back and say, oh, I really do want that discount, and so that has helped me a lot, just telling people about the discount and how much easier that is to go that route. And so then, we all know that once they start trying Shakeology and they feel what it does to their body, then they love it. And I know I've had a few girls that for whatever reason, they'll go a couple of weeks without it. And then it's like a light bulb comes on. They're like, oh, I really do like that stuff. It really does make a difference. So those kind of wordings have helped me a lot to get people on the Coach Preferred Customer Discount. And so I talked really fast and went 90 miles an hour, but that's kind of what I had for tonight. And any questions, but I'm so honored just to come on here and be able to talk to you. So thanks.
So to fit it in your day, do you just kind of work primarily in pockets of time?
Yes. So I usually don't get very much done in the morning other than my workout, quiet time, and reaching out to my group. And so then at lunchtime and in my breaks, I just know I sit down and automatically start working down birthdays and then meeting new people. And then, Corey, you said one thing that stuck with me, that you never lay down your head on your pillow without at least doing 5 invites. And I've tried to stick to that pretty good. And if I missed it, that means I have 10 the next day at least. And I'm not very good at counting.
To do like 1 or 2, then you're going to keep going to get to 5 because you're going to be kind of in your flow at that point, and you're going to get your 5 done. So that's for me.
That is so true, because lots of times I go, okay, I do my 5, and then I'm like, oh, well, there's that person. Oh, well,
right. Oh, yeah, I could also send one to her really quickly.
Oh, yeah, she needs some encouragement. Yeah.
Do you work from a list, or how do you just who you're going to talk to?
Yeah, well, organization is not my strength by any means. So, but I'm learning little by little, like I'll figure it out. I do have a list in a notebook, and then I also have one in my phone because I don't always have my notebook with me, but sometimes I really like to work by paper. So in my phone, I've created a hot list, a conversation list, a this month list, and just kind of go back to them.
You guys, I don't want to monopolize. Do you guys have any questions for Susan? When I'm telling you she's killing it, like with recruiting, like she's straight up killing it. Like no one's close.
Oh.
No one's numbers are close. They're really not. Like they're not close. She kills it every month. It blows me away.
Thanks.
So if you guys have any questions for her, now would be the time to ask her while she's on the hot seat.
Hot seat.
You follow, okay, Terry wants to know how often you follow up, and is it mostly conversations?
You know, I want to be better at follow up, but I have found when I follow up that is where the magic happens. You know, so many times, and y'all, this happened to me this week, and it was kind of an eye opener. I was really interested in some mascara for the wedding that we just had, and I kind of reached out to this girl, and then I didn't hear from her, and I was like, oh man, what is her name? I'm gonna have to go find her. You know, and so, you know, I was wishing that she would follow up with me so that I could say, yes, I want that mascara, you know? And so follow up is really big. What you asked something I was gonna say, forgot. What was that?
I don't know. Terry asked how you followed up.
Okay, yeah. Oh, that was it.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
What I try to do is, you know, if I sent a voicemail last time, then I will do a regular message this time. Or if I did a regular, you know, back and forth. Or this has helped me some too. So, you know, you have those people on stories that show up night after night after night. And so, you know, send them just like a little motivational, like, thanks again. I keep telling this one girl, you are the most encouraging person. You show up every night, and I can't wait till you come and do this with me. You know, she's there, she's watching, she's wanting something, or she would not show up every single night. You know, so just kind of speak what you know is true. Just speak some truth here and there, and then sometimes just say, you know, just try to look at them and think, maybe they would like a recipe. Oh, well, maybe they would like, find out where I got my pants, you know, where'd you get those pants? You know, I don't know, just different things.
I think the thing I always try when I hear from anybody, I always try to think about like what I can take from that person, like what they're doing well. And even if it's not, like there are speakers who will speak on a call or whatever, and they're not necessarily like not my style, so to speak, but I always want to go, she's successful for a reason. Let me figure out what that is and see what I can take away, see how I can implement. Yes. And so I think with Susan, I think it's so much that she's so good at making people feel included and making people feel valued. And so when she has those conversations, it's very much like, oh, I can't wait for you to do this with me. Like you feel like she means that. Like she's genuine and authentic, and she really wants you to come do it with her. And I think that that's really special, where like, I don't get like, oh, I'm trying to just like, she's trying to sell somebody something. It doesn't feel like that with her. It feels very much like you got it, like a friend, instead of like, I'm trying to sell you this. It's very much like, I really want you to do this with me. I think it'll be like, I really want to encourage you. And she's just like really genuine. And I think just that approach is really helpful for her. And it really builds trust and credibility too. Especially because, I mean, our game, we know, we've talked about many times, people buy from you when they know you, like you, and trust you. And when you meet somebody online, it's not automatic, right? You have to kind of follow them and build that relationship for a while. But when you are, as she is, when you're so authentic and genuine and you have that kind of approach, then you like your leaps and bounds ahead of where you would be otherwise. And so I think it's a much faster relationship build, so to speak, when you're like that.
But I remind myself all the time, and I think I left this important part out. I watched Jody for 3 years. I mean, I watched her. I watched every story.
She for years was like, Susan would be amazing. Like if she would just do this with me. I know one day.
I was watching.
She was my person that I was going after, my dream team.
Oh, me. And I laughed because I trusted Jody, but I couldn't say yes until it was right.
Yeah, I think a lot of people too get discouraged with coach signups, and they're like, I'm not signing up coaches, I'm not whatever. But you have to think about, like, it takes a while. Like most of us did not jump in immediately. Most of us did not. Most of us researched a little bit. We thought about it. We mulled it over in our heads. We talked to our spouse maybe, or like told ourselves all the reasons we shouldn't do it, why it wouldn't make sense. And we had to keep seeing the posts or keep seeing the invites or keep hearing about it. Like, and then we finally just decided to do it. But for most of us, it was not an automatic thing, you know? And so I think that that's important to remember. Debbie asks, how do you do your coach sneak peek?
Okay, so y'all, I make up things all the time, and then I just decide I'll figure it out later. So I've been talking about this coach sneak peek, but I haven't really figured out what I'm going to do yet. But I do have set up a coach sneak peek group. And so like, I have some of our success stories in there, and I know like Jody and Caitlin and I, and Becky is in there. And Melissa, you're in there. Some of those are in there. And so, you know, when I was going through this time where I had no coaches with me, and I was so jealous of everyone getting to highlight their coach. Oh, this coach did this and this coach did that. And I'm like, I don't have anybody doing anything. So I thought, I'm going to create something. And so that's when I started. I thought, I'm going to highlight Becky, and she is going to talk to my team, you know, and then highlighted Melissa. And so set yourself up like you are successful, like you have it going on, even though inside you might be going, oh my goodness, it's going at all. I don't know what I'm doing next week for my sneak peek. Sorry, but I'll figure it out.
Figure outable. No, I love that. I love that so much. So many people just don't do anything because they just don't want to take action. And so they just don't do anything. And that's the worst. Obviously, that's the worst thing you can do. So I always tell people this too. Like when I started and when I met my story started because I heard a girl, Stephanie Richardson, who I didn't know, but I saw her on a video, and I just was like, I just want to see one person who makes actual money doing this.
Yeah.
And like that was it for me. Like I just wanted to make sure that I was not going to be scammed or whatever. Like I want to know somebody who's making actual money doing it. And Stephanie was very, it was on a call. It was called Any Meeting back then. It was like before Zoom or anything like that. And she was very normal, like just totally like a normal person, and just down to earth, and you know, wasn't like incredibly articulate, like polished. Was not that she's not articulate, but like she just wasn't like a polished speaker. Like there were lots of like and you know, just like it wasn't perfect. But that's when I said, I knew then immediately, I was like, okay, I'm in, because I can figure out, I can clearly, if she can do it, I can do this, and I can figure it out. And so I think it's so important just to have that mindset and go, you know what, I don't know how to do it right now, but I can figure it out because the people have done it. So I know that I can do it too. And you have amazing resources that can help you do that.
Yeah.
It's such an important attitude to have. It's just like not to be paralyzed by what you don't know, but just go, you know what, I'll figure it out. We'll roll with it. You know, and it always ends up working out. So
yeah,
it's really important. Let me see, there was one other question I saw. Joanne said, how do you invite people when people watch your stories? What words do you use when they watch your stories?
Oh, yeah. Well, I changed it up so much that I don't have it set. And I think that's important, you know, just change it up. That girl that's there all the time, you're going to have to say it differently every night. But just every now and then, you know, maybe every other week or whatever, go ahead and straight point say, I got a challenge group. You know, are you ready to join me? Are you ready to work on your health and fitness? Are you, you know, and maybe say, this may not be the best time for you or something like that. Let them off the hook. I think that's important. I know Corey has taught that in that book, also talks about that. Say something to let them off the hook. And then, you know, make them feel like they're missing out on something. You know, if you can create a way that, you know, you only have a few left and they're going to miss out and we'd really like for you to be in there, then that helps too, I think.
I always tell people, and I will, like, I like humor a lot, so I'll just like be myself. And not that I'm funny necessarily, though I do think I'm funny, but the other people are funny. I'm the funniest person I know personally.
Right.
But yeah, but anyway, I always say, like, I'm going to invite you until you either join me or one of us dies. So, you know, you may as well jump in, because I'm going to keep inviting you until you disappear. Like,
oh my goodness, I'm so going to say that.
Totally say that. I'm like, I'm inviting you. If you're still here, I'm going to keep inviting you until you say yes or one of us dies. That's it.
Yeah.
So usually, people will laugh and whatever.
I love it.
I totally do that. I think I'm funny, right, Melissa?
Yes, you
I'm really funny. But no, I don't think my husband thinks I'm very funny. Okay. Anyway, If you guys don't have any more questions, thank you so much
Oh, thank you.
time and for your preparation and just for your wisdom and your insight and for the encouragement that you are to all of us and the example you are to all of us. And I just feel really blessed that you're on our team, that we get to call you ours. And I'm just thankful for you every day and just the life you are. So thank you for joining us. Thank you all for joining us. Have a great evening. And I will put the recording up in Arete when it finishes processing.
All right. See you later. Bye. Thank you.